What's up, fuckers? Welcome back to another deep dive, and today we're going to talk Super Bowl LV. You might think you know all there is to know about this game, but trust me, this one was a real mindfuck.
Yeah, this Super Bowl was definitely something else.
Lowest attendance in a non-pandemic year, a game so long it made history, and don't even get me started on the whole Taylor Swift Bowl bullshit.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely a big part of it, wasn't it?
We're going to unpack all that and more, so buckle up, buttercups.
We'll break down the game, the drama, and the real story behind why everyone and their grandma was glued to their screens for this one.
First up, let's tackle this whole Taylor Swift Bowl thing. Seriously, what the fuck was that all about?
Well, it all started with Travis Kelce, the Chiefs' tight end. Turns out he and Taylor Swift were an item. And the Swifties, her rabid fan base, they went full-on Chiefties.
Oh, yeah.
They flooded the stadiums, bought merch like it was going out of style, and basically turned the NFL into their own personal concert venue.
It was like Beatlemania, but with tighter pants and more touchdowns.
And the impact was insane. This Super Bowl was the most watched U.S. broadcast since the frickin' moon landing in 1969. Think about that for a second.
Holy shit. That's a lot of eyeballs. So basically, Taylor Swift single-handedly resurrected the NFL's ratings.
Pretty much. And it wasn't just viewership, merchandise sales, ticket prices, they all went through the roof. The Taylor Swift effect was a gold mine for the NFL.
Well, ain't that a kick in the nuts?
Yeah.
The NFL has been trying to attract younger viewers for years, and all it took was a pop princess and a tight end with good hands.
It's a fascinating case study in how pop culture can infiltrate and influence even the most established institutions.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if the NFL will start recruiting more celebrities to get those ratings up. Imagine Beyoncé performing at halftime with the starting lineup as her backup dancers.
Oh, God.
Okay, enough about T-Swizzle and her army of glitter-bombing fans. Let's talk about the actual goddamn football game. This is a rematch from Super Bowl LVIII, where the Chiefs also kicked the 49ers' asses. Same referee both times, too. Bill Vinovich. What are the odds of that?
Pretty rare, to say the least. And this game was packed with even more bizarre twists and turns. The 49ers started strong, took a 10-point lead, and everyone thought it was over. But then shit hit the fan.
Oh, yeah. You think those 49ers players were feeling pretty smug at that point? Probably popping champagne and planning their victory lap a little prematurely?
Well, a muffed punt gave the Chiefs a much-needed lifeline. Then, we had two record-breaking field goals in the same game. The tension was thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah, and then the mother of all nail-biters. The game went into overtime, only the second Super Bowl in history to do so. You could practically hear the collective gasp of millions of fans losing their minds.
It was a clash of styles, too. The 49ers with their suffocating defense and slow, methodical offense, versus the Chiefs and their explosive, unpredictable style, led by that slippery bastard Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes is like a magician on the field. The guy can make a play out of thin air. You think he's trapped, and then bam, he pulls a rabbit out of his helmet and throws a touchdown pass.
He's a remarkable athlete, that's for sure. And his ability to escape pressure and extend plays is a nightmare for opposing defenses.
Speaking of nightmares, let's talk about the 49ers and their epic meltdown in overtime. The rules had changed. Both teams get at least one possession, even if someone scores a touchdown. But those asshats acted like they'd never heard of this rule change.
Well, it's a fairly recent change, and in the heat of the moment, even seasoned veterans can make mental errors.
Mental errors. They look like a bunch of chickens running around with their heads cut off.
Yeah.
They had one job, score, and keep the Chiefs from scoring. And they failed miserably. I bet their coach was ready to rip their spines out after that.
Well, he was definitely pissed off. They fired their defensive coordinator after the game.
Good. Maybe he should have spent less time drawing up fancy plays and more time teaching his players the goddamn rules.
There's a lot of pressure on those coaching positions, especially after a high-stakes loss like that. One mistake, and your career can go up in flames.
Yeah, well, maybe he should have thought about that before letting his team look like a bunch of clowns in overtime. Speaking things going up in flames, we need to talk about the dark cloud hanging over this Super Bowl. The Chiefs' victory parade was marred by a horrific shooting.
Absolutely. A DJ was killed and 22 people were injured, including 11 children. It's a stark reminder that even in moments of celebration, tragedy can strike.
Fucked up, man. Really fucked up. 1 minute you're celebrating a hard-fought victory, and the next, you're dodging bullets. Life can be a real bitch sometimes.
It's a sobering reminder of the fragility of life and the random nature of violence.
All right, let's take a break from the doom and gloom and lighten things up a bit with some Super Bowl oddities. First up, the record low attendance. What the hell is up with that? You'd think with all the Taylor Swift hype, people would be clawing their way into that stadium.
Well, Allegiant Stadium is smaller than many other Super Bowl venues, and ticket prices were astronomical. Plus, Vegas isn't exactly known for its affordability.
True. Vegas is more about gambling away your life savings than watching football. And speaking of things that are expensive and unnecessary, did you know this was the first Super Bowl without George Toma, the legendary groundskeeper? The man has been tending to those Super Bowl fields since before color TV was a thing.
The end of an era, for sure.
So that's part one of our deep dive into Super Bowl LVIII. We've covered everything from the Taylor Swift invasion to the overtime meltdown and the tragic shooting that casts a shadow over the entire event.
Stay tuned, because in part 2, we'll dig even deeper into the madness and uncover some truly mind-boggling facts and insights. Welcome back, folks. Ready for more Super Bowl insanity?
Hell yeah, let's get back to this shit show. We were talking about George Toma, the groundskeeper who retired after 57 freaking Super Bowls. What's the deal with this guy? Was he like the Michelangelo of grass or something?
Pretty much. George Toma is a legend in the world of sports turf management. He started out working for the Cleveland Indians, then moved to Kansas City for the Athletics. When they moved to Oakland, he stayed put and became the head groundskeeper for the Chiefs.
So he was there from the beginning of the Chiefs dynasty. Did he have like a secret recipe for growing that perfect Super Bowl grass?
He's known for his meticulous attention to detail and his ability to create perfect playing surfaces no matter the conditions. He's seen it all, from AstroTurf to the modern hybrid surfaces they use today. He's adapted to every innovation and challenge the NFL has thrown at him.
Damn, 57 Super Bowls. The guy's probably seen more touchdowns than a goddamn referee. So he was there for some of the most legendary moments in Super Bowl history. Oh, yeah. The immaculate reception, the catch, the helmet catch. George Toma was there making sure the field was pristine for those iconic plays.
The unsung hero, man. The guy behind the scenes making sure the players don't break their necks on a shitty field. All right, let's shift gears and talk about the broadcasting side of things. CBS had the rights to Super Bowl LVIII, but they did something really weird this time.
You're talking about the Nickelodeon simulcast, right?
Yeah, that shit. They had SpongeBob SquarePants and Patrick Star as analysts. What the fuck were they thinking? The NFL has been trying to reach younger audiences, and this was their attempt at appealing to the Fortnite generation. They incorporated all sorts of SpongeBob-themed graphics and animations into the broadcast.
So did it work? Did kids actually give a shit about cartoon characters talking about football?
It generated a lot of buzz online, and it appealed to families who wanted to watch the game together, but whose kids might not have been that interested in the actual football.
I guess it's a smart move, even if it is kind of bizarre. So while the kids were entertained by SpongeBob, the adults got bombarded with the usual Super Bowl commercials. And let me tell you, some of those ads were more fucked up than a clown orgy.
Some were pretty strange, like that one with the AI art generator that was being run by minions.
Yeah, that was some weird shit. At least it wasn't as creepy as those Temu commercials they kept shoving down our throats. But there were some decent ones, right? Didn't Beyonce drop some new music in a Verizon commercial?
She did. It was a clever marketing ploy. She had the internet buzzing with speculation for days leading up to the Super Bowl, and then, bam, new music.
Beyonce always playing the game like a goddamn chess master. Okay, before we wrap up this segment, we got to talk about the aftermath of the Super Bowl. We already discussed the horrific shooting at the Chiefs' victory parade, but there's another layer of fucked upness to this whole thing.
You're talking about the lawsuit filed against the NFL by the family of Lisa Lopez Galvin, the DJ who was killed in the shooting.
Yep, it's the one. They're claiming the NFL and the city of Kansas City failed to provide adequate security at the parade, which, let's be real, sounds pretty damn likely.
It's a complex case with a lot of different parties involved. Regardless of the outcome, that shooting will forever be a dark stain on Super Bowl LVIII.
No amount of money is going to bring back those lost lives or erase the trauma of that day. It's a reminder that even in the midst of victory and celebration, shit can go sideways in a heartbeat. All right, let's grab another beer and then we'll come back for the final round of this Super Bowl beatdown. All right, we're back and ready to finish off this deep dive into Super Bowl LVIII.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
After all the craziness we talked about, the Taylor Swift takeover, the overtime meltdown, the horrific shooting grade, you still think this Super Bowl was just another boring game?
No way. This Super Bowl was anything but boring.
It was a total roller coaster.
It really was. And it showed some interesting trends in the NFL, you know, like that Taylor Swift effect. It was undeniable.
Yeah, who would have thought a pop star could boost ratings like that?
It really makes you wonder what the future holds for the NFL. Will we see more celebrity stuff, more crossover events?
You think the NFL will start recruiting pop stars like they recruit quarterbacks?
It wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
That's a scary thought. But on a more serious note, that shooting at the Chiefs' victory parade was a real tragedy.
Yeah, for sure.
It reminds you that even when you're celebrating, shit can go wrong in a heartbeat.
He really does.
Hopefully the NFL and these cities hosting these events will learn from this and make sure something like that never happens again.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right, folks, that's it for our deep dive into Super Bowl LVIII.
A hell of a ride.
We saw some incredible plays, witnessed a pop culture phenomenon, and grappled with the dark side of victory.
Yeah, a Super Bowl that defied expectations and left us with more questions than answers.
And that's what makes it so interesting.
Exactly.
So as you go about your day, think about this. Did Taylor Swift just change the future of the NFL? Is the league headed for a full-blown celebrity takeover?
Only time will tell.
Until next time, stay safe out there. And remember, the Deep Dive is always here to help you make sense of this crazy world. Peace out, motherfuckers.